Question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Miami Dolphins and the New Orleans Saints, and it's coming up next.
You can almost hear the noise coming from the nearby French Quarter, and they're being just as loud inside Caesars Superdome here in New Orleans. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they've definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Jason Sanders is out, ready to kick this one away. And here we go from New Orleans. On the return, here's Mims. He's stopped on the return at the 27. So the Saints offense taking over for the first time here. And they're brought out by the second rounder who's been climbing the leaderboard since 2014 at Fresno State, Derek Carr.
One thing you can always trust about Carr is to give you a lot of games and a whole lot of numbers as a starter each and every season. He's just got a lightning quick release. I love watching him throw a football, but he's not gotten a lot of chances at postseason moments. In time, well, time is not on his side.
So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. They're going to start on the ground with Kamara. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. It was Tyrell Johnson with the tackle.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 31. This is reeled in by Taysom Hill. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. From the shotgun, Carr. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down, and he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. Another try following the sack. Catch made by Alvin Kamara. And that will not be enough for a 1st down.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. Carr here from the gun. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions to get more depth. But a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
Here comes the Saints punting unit.
And this will bring a drive that had some promise to a disappointing end.
He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. And he's brought down before the return gets far. So here come the Dolphins as they get set for their debut series. QB's Brock Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua's early career, yeah, it was known for injuries. Maybe not being as durable and as available as you want in a top 10 pick. But the last few years, he's taken great strides to rewrite that narrative. Remember, this was a guy that rewrote the record books in Hawaii, won a national championship at Alabama, and nobody questioned the accuracy of that left arm. It was just the availability, well, that he's had to rewrite, and he's done a heck of a job.
On the move, headed right. He's running with it.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
2nd and 3 now. Off the play fake, here's Tagovailoa. Got his target, it's Hill. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Opening carry for Devon Achane. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2. Shotgun snap now to Tagovailoa. He's got Smith. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Taps it quick to the receiver coming across. And he gets some good yardage down to the 42. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
Well, this is a headache-inducing run for a defensive coach. I could just imagine that staff both upstairs and down on the field watching it, Kate, because now, well, they don't have to just worry about this guy catching as a receiver. Now they know he can be a weapon in the ground game, too.
2nd down carry for Achane. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Kate, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
3rd and a lone yard coming up. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. That's caught for the first. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Offense already looking like they're in mid-game form. They've got it down to the 32. On 1st down, here's Tagovailoa. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
You know, Kate, that was one of those situations where you hear a quarterback having a clock, right? You know, and he had enough time in the pocket, but then it was like, okay, time is running out, and I got to do something. He did not force a throw and risk a pick. Instead, he just got rid of it and cut his losses.
2nd and 10 now. Completes this one to Braxton Berrios. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. Able to find Achan. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Brought in close to the 8. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Receiver in motion, headed right. Achan. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
These stops, they don't always make the end-of-game highlight reels, but they absolutely should. The coaches and players know it. Offenses are always counting on yards on that type of run. And anytime it results in a loss, it could be a potential drive killer.
After the loss, it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Here's Tagovailoa.
That defense, it'll give up that completion every time. They don't just like it, they love it, because it creates a fun little race between everybody coming downhill to go make that tackle, or in this case, run him right out of bounds.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. Waddle now in motion right. On 3rd and goal, it's Tagovailoa. Flushed out of the pocket. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
Well, this is in every quarterback's tool belt, even the ones not regarded as the best movers and shakers. But, Kate, to play QB in the league today, you've got to be able to do this. If you've got nobody open, still get some positive yards with your legs.
Three plays haven't gotten it done. Now a 4th to try to reach that end zone. Trying for it, it's Achan. And he's in for the touchdown. The Dolphins have a great first drive and get the game's first points. Devon Achan with the touchdown. Once it became goal-to-goal, Brock, that field goal team just didn't feel like they were ever going to see the field. This team was committed to making a statement on the opening series, even if it meant leaving the offense out there on 4th and goal.
Yeah, I think that's really well said, Kate, for a couple reasons. Number one, you do get a chance to finish, right? So you do all this work to get there, you want to finish it. But you also know if you don't get it, well, you set your opponent up with some really bad field position. I love that decision.
That one right down the middle. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Sanders all set to send it away. On the return, here's Mims. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. This New Orleans offense readied up for its second drive of the contest. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Kamara running out of the gun. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's a solid 7-yard pickup on 1st down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Pressure coming for Carr. That's complete to Kamara. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. They gain 14 on the play. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
Okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I've seen it once. I've seen it 100 times. Next week on the practice field, this running back's going to say, see, I'm not just a running back. I can play receiver. And you receivers, you couldn't do my job, but I just showed you I could do yours.
They send a tight end in motion. Throwing on first down, it's Carr. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be second down. Back to the air, Carr. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And the Dolphins got it! And Miami returns this to the end zone. Touchdown! The Dolphins take a 13-0 lead. Like a freight train leaving the station after scooping up that fumble. Oh, he got moving on his way to the end zone, Brock. Nice hustle from the big man.
Is there anything more fun than seeing these big old human beings get their chance to get on a scoreboard? You see how it just ignites everybody.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. The point after splits the uprights. And the Dolphins drive out to an early 14-0 lead. Nice little energy on their sideline after that fumble return scored, and with plenty of energy, he'll send this one away. Here comes Williams on the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The New Orleans offense set to go now. And things have gone from bad to worse in their two drives. Hopefully the third time's the charm for them. They find some success. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Carr. That's caught. Rashid Shaheed makes the play. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
New set of downs for him at the 38. They bring a tight end in motion right. Carr now on 1st and 10. This is complete to Olave. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And with 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
They give on 2nd to Kamara. And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Carr with it on 1st. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Throwing from the gun here. This one's taken in by Hill.
And he's able to reach the 40 on that play.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Carr with it on 3rd and short. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Ball at the 33 for first down. Running back sent in motion. Throwing again, it's Carr. Cut near the goal line. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, great work there, Brock. They weathered the storm, and now they've gotten themselves right back into this ball game.
Anybody who's played this game has been here before. The game doesn't start the way you want. You're in a big hole, and all you can do is climb out of it. And the words of Pete Carroll resonate. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Blake Groupie to try the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Saints chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Washington now to return. Man, he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now we're going to see the Dolphin offense for their second drive of the contest. And they take the field exactly where they want it to be, Brock. Up a touchdown early and with the home crowd a little quieter than normal.
I'm not going to lie to you, Kate. I think most quarterbacks, competitors love playing on the road when they do just this. Just quiet them, right? Turn them against their own team. They were quiet after that opening touchdown. You score another one, they're going to start to murmur, and we might even hear a few boo birds.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. First play, they go quick out to the left, complete. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
First and 10 from the 41. Now 2 at a throw. That's cut at the 25. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Four downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. They run the counter to Achane. Has the Miami touchdown. The Dolphins grow their early lead to 13. Devon Achane with the touchdown. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Dolphins double their lead to 14. Sanders all set to send it away. On the return, here's Mims. He stopped on the return at the 27. Here comes the Saints offense. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Carr. This is reeled in by Kamara. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. That's 16 on the pickup. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down.
This running back is a mismatch maker. That's how I label him on my little sheet right here. Right under his bio, this guy just creates matchup nightmares for every defender on the field.
Carr here from the gun. That's complete to Valdez-Scantling. And he gets this beyond the midfield stripe and onto the Dolphins side of the field.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Here's a give inside to Kamara. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to 1st down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on a 3rd and short.
Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. Carr off the play fake. Got his target. It's Hill. And a solid gain there. Gets him across the 45 before he goes out. That goes as a 4-yard pickup, and it gets him a 1st down.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Well, a tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. They go play action with Carr. Connects with Johnson. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. We will not get another play in here. That's going to do it for quarter number 1. It's a 2-score game early. Back to the Superdome of Caesar in just a bit. We're back for the 2nd quarter. Saints in possession of the football. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Carr. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on 1st down. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Carr to the air now. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive down the field. Those windows and throwing lanes, Kate, they're not open very long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be thrown off.
A tight end in motion now. Carr throwing on 3rd. Chased out to his right.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
On fourth down, out comes the Saints field goal team and Blake Grupe. This from 40 on the right hash. Mickey kick is good. And that'll get him back to 11.
A dependable kicker, man. That is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
Here's Grupe on now to handle the kickoff. Washington now to return. This return makes it up to the 25. The Dolphins and running back Devon Achane getting back to work. And that lead they've got, Brock, they are never going to have to worry about losing it if they keep scoring every time they touch this football.
Is that how it works?
It surprisingly is. You know, if you have the lead and you don't lose it, you win.
And that type of start, well, you wanted all 17 games of a season, but you're lucky to get it more than once.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Tua now from the gun. This finds Smith. Just a couple of yards here as he heads for the sideline.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Motioning left is Berrios. Running with Achane out of the gun. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Alontae Taylor making the stop. Just 1 yard on the play, though. That leaves him with 3rd down and 6 to go.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Throwing, here's Tagovailoa on 3rd. He's got Smith. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. That one hits at the 6, but can't check up. It gets into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints and running back Alvin Kamara trotting back out to the field. And they've gone to him as a receiver to complement his presence in the backfield, Brock, to some good early results. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They motion the tight end over. Throwing on 1st down, it's Carr. Completes this one to Hill.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Second down now, 7 to go. They run it from the gun with Kamara. And they had that one contained right at the line. It was Tyrell Johnson with the tackle. No gain on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 7.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just times you got to run in the darkness. And when linebackers fill that hole like that right in the middle of the field, he ran right into the darkness and the pain of that linebacker.
They're going to throw it on 3rd and long. He finds Johnson. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. He picks up 28 on the play. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Running behind center with Kamara. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Gets this to Johnson.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Running back sent in motion left. Working out of the gun, it's Carr. He has the first over the middle. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. A 9-yard gain and good for a 1st down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. They're going play action. It's caught right side by Johnson.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Throwing now off play action. Complete out to the right side. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
This is reeled in by Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being stopped. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards them with a 1st and goal.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
They kick the running back in motion. Throwing again, it's Carr. It's a New Orleans touchdown. Well, good luck stopping the big fella that close to the goal line, Brock. I've always thought that the distance right there is just made for tight ends to score touchdowns.
Yeah, and it's not just the sport that you also love to cover in basketball. It's all about matchups. You get near the red zone and into the end zone, matchups become critical. And when you got a dude like this that's a mismatch maker, you feed him.
Group B to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Saints cut the lead down to 4. We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. D. Eskridge to return it. Some good work on that return. Brock gets this up to the 33. Offense returning to the field now for the Dolphins. And in a high-scoring game to this point, everyone anticipating, well, even more points as they take the field. Ball at the 33 for first down. Here's Tagovailoa. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be second down.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
A-Chain on the inside give. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
Man in motion out of the slot. Going to the ground again on first. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. They'll stick with A-Chain. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that third down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
1st and 10 from the 41. Tua off the play fake. Has a man, it's A-Chan.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there, and it netted some positive yards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They've got a man in motion. A-Chain running to the right. He's contained at the line for no gain. That play wrapped up by Demario Davis. Call it no gain on the play, and that brings up 3rd and 9.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. They go play action with Tagovailoa. That's caught for the first. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And it'll be first down, Miami.
Hey, this is one of those situations where, Kate, even as a former QB, I really feel for these corners in this league. They got the hardest job in football, sticking to guys on these routes and on a comebacker in particular, where that receiver breaks it off. Man, that can be so difficult to defend.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Shotgun snap now to Tagovailoa. On target to his man, Barrios. And he's able to get this down to the 13. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Here's A-Chain up the middle. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. A pickup of 2, maybe 3, but most importantly, Brock, that's enough to move the sticks.
You know what I like about a 2nd and short run play, Kate? Yeah, I like getting a first down, but you know what I like even more? That's going to set up a play action pass in a similar down and distance, and that defense is going to have to key on the run.
Motioning one of the tight ends. First down, and they go right back to him. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage, B, it sets up your play action, and C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing. On target to Waddle.
3rd and 4 coming up now. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. The back grabs it. And in for the Miami touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Dolphins drive their lead to 11. Sanders all set to send it away. Here comes Williams on the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Saints and Derek Carr about ready to get back to work. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3 and out for this offense here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
Carr now on 1st and 10. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Back to the air. Carr. On target to Valdez-Scantling. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Running back sent in motion. Carr with it on 1st. He's got Shaheed. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
All right, set now, 1st and 10. Carr here from the gun. This is reeled in by Kamara. And that's good for a gain of 5. Brought down that time by Kendall Fuller.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. They kick the running back in motion. From the shotgun, Carr. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Kate, you can give him much of the credit for this early lead. Heck, give every player in that defense now their 4th sack of this game credit, because that ambush on the quarterback, a big reason why they're in control of this game.
And the Dolphins in a nickel set for this 3rd down. Carr to the air now. That's complete to Valdez-Scantling. And they'll stand him up and sit him down at the line.
That's how you draw it up defensively. That's exactly what you want the coverage to do. Force that quarterback to throw it short and get off the field.
On fourth down, out comes the Saints field goal team and Blake Grupe. He was good on his first kick. Gonna need to hit this one well to go 2 for 2. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that brings the deficit back within a score, 8 points.
The wind was at his sails, Kate, and it certainly helped that football fly true and right down the middle. And from that distance, to hit with that accuracy is one impressive shot.
All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. Eskridge on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Dolphins are back on offense. Tua Tagovailoa out there once again. And at the pace he's begun the game throwing the football, Brock, he is in line for a special type of performance if they need to keep throwing it until the end. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Achane. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. On play action, here's Tagovailoa. He's got Smith. And he gets it forward to steal about a yard out of that. Willie Gay there on the tackle. So we're at the 2-minute warning here from the Superdome. The Dolphins trying to make some noise before halftime. Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Out of the shotgun, a give to Achane. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. The Saints calling for a timeout, their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Jake Bailey on the punt. And he wants to hit his second effort just as well as he hit his first. Absolutely crushed his first punt, and here's another huge one. And he'll scrape together what he can on the return. He gets it back to the 20. Absolutely crushed that kick, a full 70-yard punt. And the Saints will get set to take over. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Slot man motioned over. Throwing on 1st down. It's Carr. Has him on the quick hitter. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. It's Kader Kohu up to make that play. Now the Saints hustling people forward. They need to get set. Here we go, 2nd and 9. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. The defense calls a timeout. That's their first. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call is going to be on 3rd down. This is Kamara. And the hit stops him cold. Wow, he maybe got back to the line. Miami calls a timeout here. It's second, as they'll get together and discuss with fourth down coming up. Punting unit out now. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. He broke 50 on his first punt and looks to have done the same here. Jukes one defender, and he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The Dolphins headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And he sure has put on that chef's hat to dice up their defense early in this one. Quite the appetizer that he's prepared to what could be a great overall performance. The Dolphins in pretty good field position here as they come up 1st and 10. Tua now from the gun. He's on the move. He's stepping up and takes off with this one. And he protects himself with a slide there after a decent gain.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Here's 2nd and 2. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
As much as we talk about offenses wanting to stay ahead of the chains, they want to stay on script. Well, a defense, they want to rip that script up. And a sack like that, creating 3rd and extra longs, it's exactly how you get it done.
Now the offense going to take its 3rd and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. They're on him again, and he goes down again. We have a timeout here. 2nd one taken by New Orleans. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. So the Dolphins readying for the punt. Jake Bailey's going to kick it away. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4. That brings us to the break. The visiting Dolphins holding an early advantage. Now we'll head over to Orlando, Florida. Check in with Jonathan Coachman for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Reports. It was Devon Achane who's had the strong first half. He had 2 touchdowns on the ground and added another on the receiving end for good measure. He was awesome.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our 3rd quarter. The first half controlled by the offenses, Brock. Let's see if the defenses can take over in the second half. We're underway. Washington now to return. Man, he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The visitors and this running back headed back out for a new series. They've certainly had no issues scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they could really use some more points on this drive. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. A run now with Achane. And he's able to maneuver this up past the 30. First down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Achane again. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
You know, coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a 3rd down on this possession, or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And the push forward doesn't get beyond the line. Carl Granderson in on the tackle. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
This wide receiver run game, what it really does, Kate, is it tests the soundness of your defense. How assignment sound are you? Well, that was an excellent example of this defense doing its work on the practice field and, more importantly, put into execution on the game field.
Short pass brought in. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. They gain 14 on the play. And that's going to give the Dolphins a 1st down.
That's just discipline with a capital D. The play in the huddle is a running back screen, but it takes discipline for that offensive line to not get downfield. Discipline for that receiver to stay alert, stay aware that he's a viable option as well.
1st and 10 from the 41. They run. It's Achane. And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. To throw, Tunga Vailoa. Couldn't connect right side. It's incomplete.
Hey, Kate, you feeling lucky? Well, the quarterback is, because he just dodged a major turnover. That was an easy pick that was simply dropped.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Tunga Vailoa now. Able to find Achane. And he's brought down for a loss.
Not terribly complicated on this one, just not the 3rd down screen you wanted to run. Little chance they were getting the 1st, and apparently, little chance they were going to even gain a positive yard at all.
They'll send out the punting unit. And he's been getting all of it every time out. He's been hitting it well so far. This is another big one. So this one will go out of bounds, and they'll start the drive inside their own 30. The Saints ready to return their offense to the field. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Carr. Into the hands of Olave. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s. Versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
Looking to throw, Carr. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. From the 43. That's complete to Kamara. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. Kamara running out of the gun. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Tackle made by Jordan Brooks. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
The only thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Running back sent in motion. Kamara's got it. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Carr setting to throw. Hits his running back. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
Those kind of completions are so frustrating, Kate. It's like a putt. You got it on line, you feel good about it's going in the hole, but you never want to leave it short.
They're out now, ready to punt it. And he'll try to hit this one well. This is away, and once again, he's caught all of it. Miami set to take over once again on offense. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for him. Has him with the advantage as we move through this 3rd quarter. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap now to Tagovailoa. Has a man, it's Achane. And he gets it up close to the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason, where one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Tua off the play fake. And this one won't be caught, but we got a flag here. Looked like there may have been some early contact before that throw arrived. He got too aggressive to try and stop that play, and they tag him for pass interference. 1st and 10 from the 41. And they send a man in motion. Running it after the penalty. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. That play wrapped up by Demario Davis. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Second down carry for Achane. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A gain of 2 follows up a gain of 1, and now they're left with 3rd and 7. They go play action with Tagovailoa. Coverage holds up, and he just had to get rid of it.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. Once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
So out now comes the punter. And he's going to do the honors for the 4th time today. Getting about 50 yards of boots so far, and here's another quality effort. This lands deep into the end zone. We're picking things up with the 20 after the touchback. The Saints ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Carr back to throw. Looking. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
How many times we see these coaches after games sit there at the press conference, they pull out the stat sheet, and when they do, they look for some anomalies. And today, well, this head coach is going to be very proud of a defensive effort getting after the quarterback 6 different times. 6 sacks, and they've had a heyday in the backfield.
They kick the running back in motion. Finds his fullback. And he's going to be brought down after getting this up to the 22.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Carr. This is reeled in by Valdez-Scantling. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
First down, ball at the 36. Carr here from the gun. Olave with the catch. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Kamara now on 1st and 10. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Tackle made by Jordan Brooks. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
It's plays like that, Kate, that I'm happy I'm the color analyst and you and your spotter are doing play-by-play, because that was a massive humanity, a whole bunch of bodies to sort through for 1 yard.
Here's Carr. This is reeled in by Kamara. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Tackle made by Jordan Brooks.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Carr with it on 3rd and short. He has the first over the middle. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Carr. Completed to his running back. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Javon Holland there to make the stop.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is the completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of your eligible receivers. That time, a running back in the flat.
He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught.
Simply part of the job description for any running back in today's game. You're out there, you're going to be one of your quarterback's most important safety valves, and you got to be ready for that check down at all times.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Throwing again, it's Carr. This one's taken in by Hill. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL. Everybody on the field's thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down?
Running for it, Kamara. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
The humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. They'll run the toss to Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. The Saints shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. Alvin Kamara, the touchdown. Well, he found himself some space to work, and from there, all athleticism as he made his way in for 6.
You know, you run the ball down in the red zone, Kate, you're not always thinking touchdowns, right? Space is so hard to come by. But you're exactly right. His athleticism, his explosion, his speed, it puts 6 on the board for the offense.
They'll try it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone. Only fair. He got them the touchdown, so they let him pick up the 2 as well. But we all knew extra point was doing nobody any good there. Got to go for 2 in the tie. They do. They get it. And just like that, we're all squared up here in the 2nd half.
Squared up, brand new ball game, even Steven. Who is Steven? Do you know who Steven is?
That's a good question. No, go ahead. Go ahead, though. Take it.
I don't know who Steven is, and I don't really care because it's a whole new game with both teams totally alive.
Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. Eskridge on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Miami offense headed out there now. It's all squared up again following that touchdown, partner, so some added importance on this series. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on 1st down.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. A-chain on the inside give. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You spring a big gain like that, Kate, on the interior. 9 times out of 10, that O-line decisively won their matchup with the big fellas up front. They got those pads down. They created leverage, and they opened up that running lane.
1st and 10 from the 41. Staying on the ground here with A-Chan. And he's going to work his way almost to midfield. That's stopped at the 48. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Tua out of the pistol. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
Third and 2, now Tagovailoa. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And it'll be first down, Miami.
This dude's just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that first down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
Running back sent in motion. First down, here's Tua. Getting out to his left. Gets out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run.
Oh, man, those defensive players hate slippery quarterbacks. Near impossible to keep them hedged in or corral them behind the line there. He evades them long enough to turn a potential loss into positive yardage.
2nd and 3 now. Going play action, Tagovailoa. He sends this one to the end zone. That's much too high and out of the end zone, incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6, but still plenty of options left on 3rd and short.
You know, a couple of my favorite nicknames, Kate, over the last decade in football, the Legion of Boom, obviously out in Seattle. But how about the no-fly zone that was cooking in Denver? That right there, that is a no-fly zone, trying to make the play in the end zone, and a beautiful job by the defender to knock it away.
Throwing on 3rd, Tagovailoa. Caught for big yards on the right side. And he'll take this across. Touchdown, Miami! The Dolphins take a lead just before the end of the 3rd. Well, this has definitely been a tight one throughout, Brock. So now that they've taken the lead, the question becomes, can they hold on to it?
And that question right there is one the defense has to answer. But this sure had the look of a drive where a coaching staff challenged that offense, saying, hey, we need a big drive from you guys right here. And sure enough, that offense delivers.
Yeah, no doubt. Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Dolphins break that tie and now lead by 7. Sanders all set to send it away. On the return, here's Mims. Now bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30. The Saints come marching onto the field. All their scoring has kept them close, but they still find themselves trailing by just a little in this 3rd quarter. First and 10 now from the 30. The screen pass falls incomplete. Tried getting it to Chris Olave. So that brings up 2nd down.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Back to the air, Carr. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And then brings up third down. Now Carr. That's complete to Valdez-Scantling. Pickup of 12 on that play. And the Saints are going to have a first down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Working out of the gun, it's Carr. And oh, someone stepped in, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kader Kohu. And he takes this one back for the pick six. Second time they've taken one back on him, Brock. First the fumble return, and now this pick six.
You know, I point this out to you every defensive meeting room we're in, Kate, when we sit down in these production meetings, and you can see their boards, right? These defenses keep track, and they know if they get a score defensively, their odds of winning through the roof. You get two, it's almost a certainty.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. The point after splits the uprights. And the Dolphins double their lead to 14. Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. Here comes Williams on the return. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They're going to start on the ground with Kamara. They'll have him gain about a handful there. Tackle made by Jordan Brooks. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5. So we're through 3 here. It's the Saints ball. They're down on the scoreboard, but things not out of hand yet. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. From the 28. Got his target, it's Hill.
This defense didn't give up contain there, Kate. That was an instance where the more exciting plays were taken away downfield. And even looking to the tight end wasn't going to net them much.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. Running behind center with Kamara. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that 1st down right there.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Going to the ground again on 1st. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a 1st down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 41. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Steadily keeping him involved in their passing game, Brock, but that throw, now, didn't work out the way his earlier targets have.
It kind of felt like you could see that from the booth. This defense was sick and tired of this running back catching the ball.
Yeah.
A whole lot more active in their coverage, and somebody was ready to finally separate the football when it arrived.
They send a receiver in motion right. Carr throwing on third. He goes back to him yet again. Complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. A pickup there of 33 yards. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
I love this, Kate. No issues at all going to this receiver in the short field because they know at any time when this man touches the ball, he can transform a short completion into a big play.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Carr. Completes this one to Hill. And he gets this forward to the 19.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that.
From the 19. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a 1st and goal.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Carr here from the gun. And oh, he got it! Interception! Jalen Ramsey comes up with it.
I know exactly what the quarterback was envisioning when he let that one go. Touchdown, baby. Not long after, I know exactly what he was thinking. Oh, no! Give me that one back, because the coverage baited him perfectly into that throw, and even more so, picked it off.
The visitors returning their offense and this running back to the field. They're up by 2 scores, Brock, but we've got some time left, so they still need to mount a drive here. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Tua now from the gun. Completed over the middle. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. Give him 13 on that play. And that's going to give the Dolphins a 1st down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. They send Hill right. Handoff running left, A-Chain. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on 1st down. You just want some yards to set up an easier 2nd down play, but they will take that execution every time.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. Has his man, it's Smythe. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 28 out of that play. And it'll be 1st down, Miami.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Back to throw, Tua. Finds him over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 16. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. On play action, here's Tagovailoa. He brings it in. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
I'll tell you this, you don't want to make a living throwing into double coverage, but double coverage and still finding a way to beat the defense and haul it in. That's not a situation many players win, and there aren't a lot of quarterbacks willing to make that throw and trust their receiver to get it done.
And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality in the locker room and in the huddle is you can be defined by your relentlessness. And his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside.
They kick the running back in motion. Tagovailoa now against the blitz. The throw is caught. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play.
You know, Kate, over the years, I have heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Shotgun snap now to Tagovailoa. Escapes the pocket. And this is going to be a Miami touchdown. The Dolphins have likely locked up the win right there. Tua Tagovailoa with the touchdown. His 3rd total score this game. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith. Right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Extra point is good by Sanders. And the Dolphins stretch their lead to 21. Sanders all set to send it away. Here comes Williams on the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The home teams are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And as we can see here, it hasn't been the easiest game for him to operate out there, right? Number of rough moments for him. This defense able to pick him off twice to highlight their performance against him. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
Kate, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns. He puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
They're set up at the 35 now. Running back sent in motion. Throwing on 1st down, it's Carr. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right.
Boy, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
Couldn't connect on 1st, it's 2nd down. From the shotgun, Carr. Short pass brought in. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41.
You get this big old dude like him in the slot, it's an automatic mismatch advantage. You're trading a little bit of speed, sure, but you sure do get a lot of size. And anytime he's in the slot, you got to assume the ball's going his way.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Man in motion here. Carr with it on 3rd and short. Gets this one to Shaheed. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. Throwing again, it's Carr. Hits his running back. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. Carr to the air now. That's Hill working the sideline, complete. And he's going to get it out past the 40 before he goes out. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
They'll motion him out of the backfield. Oh, brother, it's another interception. Jalen Ramsey comes up with it.
Well, I'll admit, man, I got to admire the guts, the willingness to continue to challenge the coverage, even with 2 interceptions already. But there's his 3rd strike. And no, it's not baseball, but he definitely has to be smarter with what he's doing with the football.
The Dolphins offense ready to go as they take the field. With touchdowns on their last 2 drives, Brock, they're playing some of their best offense here. Could they try for 3 in a row despite the lead? Let's find out. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Achane. And he gets up for a gain of about 4.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Handoff now to the receiver. And he's headed the wrong way on the reverse. They got him behind the line.
These defensive ends today are so good, Kate, with their hands, and it's often right off the jump. If you can win with your hands, if you can create space, you could get a tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
And the Saints go in nickel, 3rd down. Tua off the play fake. Has it downfield, working the left. There it is, touchdown Miami! The Dolphins keep adding to that 4th quarter lead. It's a Jalen Waddle touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Dolphins continue piling on to this lead. Sanders all set to send it away. On the return, here's Mims. He's stopped on the return at the 27. The offense being led back out by its quarterback as they get geared up for their next possession. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Carr off the play fake. Got his target. It's Hill. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29.
Just stay on schedule. Just stay on schedule, right? SOS. Bad thing on a ship. Good thing on a football field. Even a little completion keeps this offense on schedule.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. They go play action with Carr. That's completed right side. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the 1st down.
Wow, certainly found the weak spot in the coverage with that catch. Really goes to show they trust every single player, receiver, running back, in that case, tight end, to be a playmaker in this offense.
Tight end going in motion here. This one's taken in by Hill. And he gets this beyond the midfield stripe and onto the Dolphins side of the field. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They kick the running back in motion. Working out of the gun, it's Carr. That's complete to Kamara. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Kate, I can promise you, you go back and look at the most efficient offenses in the NFL over the last couple decades, one thing will resonate. You've got to be able to attack the middle of the field. It's great to do it with receivers. It's awesome with tight ends. But when you get that influence from your running backs, man, you become a dangerous offense to stop.
They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. He's got Shaheed. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. The big play nets him 17 yards. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down.
Well, that's a game that has its roots in preparation during the week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of stuff. Identifying ways to target the coverage and creating opportunities for big completions.
They run it from the gun with Kamara. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
They had the 1st down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Running back sent in motion. Carr here from the gun. And he brings it in for a New Orleans touchdown. The Saints putting up points in a game decided. Well, Brock, you know this better than most. Sometimes these dudes can be a quarterback's best friend, finding the tight end in the end zone for 6.
And it really has been that way for decades when you think about it, Kate. From John Mackey to Tony Gonzalez to Travis Kelce. The position can be such a mismatch when you're throwing for the end zone.
Group B to try the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Saints cut the lead by a quarter, down now to 21. With time ticking away, they prepare for a must-get onside kick. And the Dolphins get on that football. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. Well, I guess they kind of had to do it here, Brock.
Yeah, it's called a have to. Yeah, kind of have to at this point in the game, huh?
Okay, but like most things in this game, it did not work out for them.
Yeah, let's face it, even if they do recover that, probably not going to find a way to win. But this is a time where you work on things, where you do build to the following week. Got to find a way to flush this because it's just not been their kind of game.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Achane, a first down carry. And he'll scurry forward for a pickup of 3.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in New Orleans. Dolphins about set to celebrate this win. Second down now, 7 to go. They'll stick with Achane. And he takes this down to around the 39 before he stopped. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to leave him with 3rd and 3. He's got it on the bootleg. Completes this one to Hill. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. The rookie out of Alabama, there on the tackle.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. This one carries out of bounds. Not the greatest field position awaiting them. It's spotted at the 11. This offense and their quarterback making their way back out there, ready to take over once again. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll throw. Fits it through the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. And someone has officially flown higher than the Dutchman, Brock. That completion pushes him past Norm Van Brocklin for the most passing yards in a game in NFL history. The mark of 554 yards has stood resolute since back in 1951, and 7 decades later, someone has finally topped it. Carr with it on first. Throwing this back in the end zone. And no one had a shot at that. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. So it's 2nd down coming up.
Well, the QB right there, he put it pretty close to the sidelines to begin with. And the defender, well, that was a nice job. Just simply put a hand out there and let me just encourage the ball to fall incomplete.
2nd and 10, here's Carr. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. That one goes for 25 yards. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down.
Just about every defensive coordinator worth his salt says 2 things in every production meeting. Number 1, well, we got to stop the run. And number 2, we got to take away the tight end. Well, good luck doing that. Defending a big guy who can move like that, it's a lot easier to talk about than to go out and execute.
He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And they get this down to the 10-yard line before going down. A new set of downs awaits them. Here's 1st and 10. Pistol snap to Carr. He brings it in. Touchdown, New Orleans. It seems like a lot of the time, Brock, even if the results aren't quite as flashy every rep, tight ends are even more reliable scorers than a lot of receivers are when it comes to the passing game.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but there's also a lot more real estate for them to work with, right? Think of the receivers. They got to deal with the sidelines, that 12th defender. Many of these tight ends, they've got a ton of field to work with, and when they prove to the quarterback they could be a difference maker, he'll look for them.
Group B to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Saints get it back to a 14-point game. It'll time making this all but impossible, but they're going to try for the onside kick here anyway. And the Dolphins were all over that kick. This game is over.
No question they wanted the ball back late, but you don't see many of these recovered by the kicking team in the NFL. You see even fewer recovered when they're actually expecting it, like they certainly were right there.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. Dolphins breaking out the victory formation here as he goes to a knee. Now at 4 seconds left, we've got a timeout. Not that the final play is going to change the outcome, but we will get one more snap. Lining up to take a knee on 2nd down. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So it's a win for the visiting Dolphins. And with the start they had in that 1st quarter, Brock, it is no surprise to see them come away with a victory at the end. They really did all they could to put this out of reach early. So for Brock Heward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. The Dolphins, your winners, as we say so long from New Orleans.